Frogs are my favorite animal. They were when I was a kid, and they still are, and they always will be. Frogs are the best. But they are rapidly going extinct through deforestation, however. And if they ever do, I will destroy the world. But this is my cool frog story. It happened one summer a couple years back. I was at my parents' house, and they have this back porch with a deck. The house was on a hill, so the first floor was ground level, until you got to the back of the house, which was a good 5 to 7 meters off the ground. So basically the deck was on the second floor, about 2 stories high. There was a little forest behind the backyard and a single tree in the actual yard. It wasn't a large tree, but it was growing. And I don't remember what kind of tree it was. But this summer, one branch on this tree had finally grown towards the deck. On the branch was a twig that reached the farthest to the deck out of all the other branches, with a single leaf sort of parallel to the railing on the deck. You could reach out and touch the leaf. I would say it was maybe an arm's length away from the railing, about a meter. I was up late one night, hanging out on the deck, like 11 or 12 at night. It was dark, but I noticed some frogs on the railing. So I took a closer look. There were several little brownish tan frogs in a line towards the center of the deck where the leaf was hanging from. Some were on the left of the railing and some to the right. Some frogs had come up from the stairs that led to the deck on the right-hand side, and some had climbed the beams of the deck or the side of the house to get to the railing. It must have been quite the climb. They formed a line, with some distance between each frog, sometimes even extending down the staircase. What they were doing, though, was one by one, each frog would take its turn at the jump-off. The jump-off was the bit of railing closest to the leaf. The frog whose turn it was to jump would sit there, mentally preparing for as long as 5 minutes. None of the other frogs were rushing each other, and they wouldn't advance in line until the frog made the leap. So they had this coordinated system. And the leap was scary. These little frogs had a long jump from the railing to the flimsy leaf in front of them, with a very long drop underneath. And when a frog jumped, the whole leaf would rock and toss about, because it was just attached to a twig on the branch. But the frog would succeed, and then continue up the tree, I assume. And the next frog would sit preparing before attempting the leap as well. Some were daring and more experienced, perhaps, as they jumped without much hesitation, while others needed that moment of quiet contemplation. The only reason I didn't record them was because it was dark and using a camera would have distracted them with a bright light, and I didn't want to interrupt their process. I'm not Animal Planet. I don't believe in disturbing animals for the sake of documenting them. I was content to just watch them. I remember this one particular small frog who, after a long time deliberating, made the leap. And I didn't see him on the leaf, so I rushed downstairs to where he would have fallen. I couldn't find him anywhere, so I realized he'd probably actually succeeded and quickly scrambled up the tree from there. It was just such a bizarre and incredible thing to witness. This thing didn't happen once, though. I saw this on multiple nights, and I probably missed dozens of nights where they did this. I started to ponder what they were doing. The tree they could just climb easily, with no issues. They went out of their way to go up the stairs, or the house, or the beams, to get to the railing, just to leap to the leaf. I wondered if this was some frog rite of passage. It looked like there were plenty of new frogs attempting it each night. Or maybe it was just a game, like how we go cliff diving. They were doing it for the thrill or practice. Or maybe it was a secret frog party or a secret frog meeting you had to make the leap to join. It was so interesting, and I loved thinking about what they were doing those summer nights. There's entire worlds going on that we hardly stop to consider or ponder. We're afraid to use human terms to describe nature, but we are no different from any other animal. We are a part of nature as much as we try to deny it. Maybe those frogs were going to frog church, or just chilling at the hideout. Not everything is for an instinctual biological need. Frogs, especially, are the best at just chilling. It represents a lot of spiritual things to ancient humans. So, yeah, that was my cool frog story. Thanks for watching.